where I used to live, the guy over the road, he had a 1.9 205 GTI. The guy next door had a Mark 1 Astra GTE, a Mark 2 Astra GSI. Two boys down the road had Novas of different variations.
Yeah.
Every day I'd just be out my living room window. As soon as you hear one of them start up, and it got to the point where I'm like, that's so just from the exhaust note going past. And as a kid, it was amazing for me because it was just like all the best cars out at the time.
Yeah, all in your street.
All on my street.
Yeah.
It was awesome.
One, two, three.
Oh, his clap weren't as good as last time. The last couple of ones he's been doing a bit sort of like
Special one.
Yeah, it keeps
extravagant.
He
questioning.
feels under pressure now. He's got 4 cameras as opposed to 3.
Yeah.
I did my clap.
Oh, he's on his clap. Okay, right. So here we are. Welcome to Gasoline Junkies. I'm Russell.
I'm Barry.
And this is...
Darren Shields.
nice to meet you, Darren.
Nice to meet you too.
You've come on because you're a friend of one of the previous guests.
Correct, Wayne Brunton.
Right, and what do you think of Wayne?
I don't like his car.
You don't like his... a bit noisy.
Controversial.
Well, actually, technically, it's not a car, is it?
No,
It's a truck.
it is
I
a
was
truck.
talking about the blue one you got at home.
Oh, that thing.
Yeah, nobody likes that.
Nobody likes that.
Not even
me.
Wayne. Right, could you tell us a little bit about yourself, about you like who you are and what you drive?
Okay, Darren Shields. I drive a Leon Cupra 290.
Oh, nice.
How long have you had that? Because they're not that old, are they?
No, it's 2019. I've had it about three years, I think.
Oh, nice.
So yeah, it's nice.
What made you buy that?
I had a diesel one a few years ago, and then I bought a few cars in between. And whenever I was driving the diesel one, I'd always see the Cupras, and they just look better because they got the double exhaust, the big wheels and stuff. And when the opportunity came, I was like, "Yep, I'm having one of those."
Oh, nice. Is a Cupra basically a Seat? Is that right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's a Seat Leon,
Yeah.
but with the
Yeah,
Cupra.
a little while ago, Cupra was like the tuning house of Seat, but
Yes.
now they've branched out and they're their kind of own brands
Own
now.
brand now.
So is that like Cosworth to Escort, that sort of thing?
There or thereabouts.
Not
yeah.
as good.
No, I was good.
No, nothing will ever beat Cosworth, no. But
No.
yeah, it's similar to that. It's like the tuning house for Seat, but now they're their own brand.
Yeah, they're nice looking cars. Yeah.
It is nice. It is. I've got like bits of body kit, cosmetic.
That you've done yourself or that was on it?
No, that I bought them myself and
Oh,
stuck
okay.
them on. Yeah, self tappers and glue.
Was it you that sent me the video of the Mercedes of all the...
Yeah.
Yeah, I'll post this and I'll show you guys it later.
Yeah.
It's basically somebody's gone into Halfords and bought every kind of tacky, like, air vent in the world. And stuck them all on the
Not
one
saying
car.
your car's tacky. He's not trying to compare it to that. No.
When you see it, you understand.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No, it's got front splitter, side skirts, rear diffuser, and a big air intake.
Oh, cool.
So
You can send us a picture and then we can put it on the...
I think you sent me some pictures.
yeah,
of
Oh,
it.
some pictures, yeah.
Some
Yeah.
way in a picture. Yeah. So I've got loads of pictures. So
Oh, nice.
yeah, cool.
Okay.
I do
So
like it.
tell us about your car history.
I've got a list.
Have you?
Yeah.
Let's come from
Probably
first.
the most prepared test we've had so far.
It's 'cause
Everyone
of-
else is just like, I can't remember any of them.
That's it. That's exactly it. I've got a very bad memory. So a few of these were pre having a driver's license. So
No judgment here, mate.
I
Just
won't
how
go.
many cars have been in your possession?
well, we've got about 20, I think.
It's not bad.
He's up there.
Yeah.
Not bad.
Top quarter of the leaderboard.
Yeah.
So yeah, I mean,
What-
first off, it started with a horrible 1.2 Polo my dad bought me when I
Huh?
was 13, I think, for 60 quid.
£60.
Nice.
I love the fact that back in the day you could buy cars for like
Yeah.
next to nothing.
It was burnt orange. and
Oh,
it was-
okay.
It was beautiful. It was my first car.
Yeah.
Left it on the drive every day. I'd take the spark plugs out. I'd take the oil out, put it straight back in. Take the air filter out.
Every
So-
day?
Yeah, because I was just out there doing stuff. I had like one spanner and a screwdriver,
Really?
and I was just doing stuff on it.
Brilliant.
And yeah, it was the most unserviced car in the world.
Not the ultimate theft deterrent.
Kept putting the same oil back in
Yeah.
because I couldn't afford any oil. But yeah, that's how it started for me.
Brilliant.
With car
I'd love to see the
ownership anyway.
service stamps on them.
Yeah,
Crayon.
in crayon, yeah. Yeah, so that was my first car that I owned personally.
And is that the one that you drove when you passed your test?
No.
Oh, okay.
No. Yeah, I was only 13 when I
Oh,
had this,
right. Oh,
so,
wicked.
yeah, it was good fun.
Yeah.
Let's carry on through them.
Yes. I had a 1997 Mini with 3 wheels, not on purpose. It was just, it's the way it came. Again, I think that was about 60 quid back then. Had that for a couple of months. There was a garage behind my house where I used to store it and used to work on it. Again, just basics really, not nothing massive. Couldn't do body work or anything like that, and it needed a lot of body work.
Did you ever get 4 wheels on it or not?
No. So I sold it on, and then I came into possession of a Clio Williams.
I did see that when Wayne sent me this, it was like scrolling through, and that's the one that really stuck out.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was 1998 when I got it. It had done probably about 90,000 miles, and it was a bag of shit.
Was it?
But I loved it. Absolutely loved it. And then I hit a tree.
No.
Yep. Yeah, but I did. I loved it. And I even had 2 of the same shape Clios later. Not Williams, but I made them look like Williams because I loved it that much. But I could never, by that point, the price of them were going sky high.
What would one of them be worth now?
Oh, many tens of thousands.
Yes.
Would it?
Yeah.
Oh, wow.
There was one, I went to a car
Stupid
show.
trees.
Yeah. I went to a car show a few months ago, and there was a couple of McLarens, I think it was a Ferrari, big American cars. And this guy turned up in a Clio Williams, and that was it. They were all gone.
Yeah.
I was like that.
Oh, wow.
It was amazing.
It's funny. It's funny you should say that. We, me and a few mates went to Bicester Scramble in January, and like I say, there was Lambos, Ferraris, Porsches, 4GT, everything there. But the type of cars that I like, it was the old. I think there was an Astra GTE there.
Nice.
And yeah, I got moist. It's them sort of things that just
Something about that word.
Yeah.
It just makes you chuckle.
moist.
Yeah. But around the polo time where I used to live, the guy over the road, I think his name was Steve, he had a 1.9 205 GTI. The guy next door had a Mark 1 Astra GTE, a Mark 2 Astra GSI. 2 boys down the road had Novas of different variations.
Yeah.
One of them had that digital dash with a speedo. I don't know if
Yeah,
you
that
remember
became
it.
a standard on a Nova. That's always transplanted from the Astra.
Astra,
into
yeah,
it.
yeah. And every day I'd just be out my living room window. As soon as you hear one of them start up, they got to the point where I'm like, that's so and so just from the exhaust note going past. And as a kid, it was amazing for me because it was just like all the best cars out at the time.
Yeah, all in your street.
All on my street. It was,
Yeah.
it was awesome.
Obviously, jumping a little bit from your question to the next question later on, do you think that's what got you into cars?
It was my uncle Roland. I remember he turned up in a Renault 5 GT Turbo, but it was stripped like a rally car.
Right.
And one seat for the driver, and he's like, "Get in, let's go." And I'm sat in on the metal, holding onto the roll cage, about 6-7 years old, and he just went tear ass in it around the estate. And the noise and the feeling for me, that was it.
Yeah.
It's game over from there.
Yeah, you're a car guy.
Yeah,
Yeah.
100%.
Oh, wicked. All right, so back to your questions.
Yep, so a couple of Novas involved, nothing special, 1.4 and 1.2 I had.
You was a Nova man, weren't you?
I love Nova.
I love Novas. Again, big money now.
Yeah,
For a
huge
good,
money.
for a good one, yeah. 205 GTI, the 1.6.
Nice.
Again, that was not in great condition. Then I had my driver's license, so I spent £600.
That was all before your driving licence. I think for the most cars before a driving licence, he's winning so far.
Yeah, I got my driving license in 2007, I think. So this is all well before that.
So was you driving illegally before that, or
No.
We won't tell anyone. The safe space nobody watches it.
Evidence point.
Yeah. No, I'd take it for a spin every now and again,
Right.
with no license, just to keep the airflow, as we spoke about earlier.
Just to warm the
stop.
tyre.
Yeah, that's
You know,
it.
keep the
Yeah.
fluids going.
Yeah, that's it. But then, got my license, and I spent £600 on a 1999 1.4 Auto Clio,
Nice.
same shape as a Williams.
Yeah.
Loved it. Nothing wrong with it. And then I got company cars after that, and I sold that to a friend for £600, and he still has it.
Really?
Really?
And this was, it would have been 2008, and he's still
Wow.
got it.
Still
and
on
it
the
still
road?
runs,
Brilliant.
Still runs.
That's really impressive.
Yeah, love that car. And I put bigger wheels on it, and it had really chunky tyres, so they're kind of off-roady looking-ish. So in the snow, anything like that, it was just an absolute beast. I mean, he took the wheels off because they weren't great. They rubbed and scraped and whatnot, but But yeah, then I went company cars. I used to work for Toyota and Honda. So I got company cars like RAV4, which was nice.
Yeah.
Was it Igo, which was, depending on how many cars you sold in a month, depended on what car you got for the next month as a company car.
Oh, really? Oh, it was
Yeah.
target based.
Yeah, so if you had a bad month, you got
You
the
drove around
Igo.
in a shit car, everybody knew.
It is, yeah, it is.
So the RAV4, I see, and it slipped my mind what it is, so you might be able to tell me, but there's something to do in the back of the RAV4, I'm sure it's in the door, in the boot door.
Mhm.
I'm going to call it a boot door because it does open like a door, not like a normal
Yeah,
boot.
it's sideways, isn't it?
There's something in that. And basically the video I watched was like, I bet everybody that's owned a RAV4 didn't know this was in the boot, or in the boot door. You don't know what it is,
I don't
right?
know.
So we'll do some investigating later on, or you can. Well, I'm saying yeah, there's something in the back of a RAV4 boot door that's quite impressive, and nobody knows it was there. They didn't tell it. I don't think they told anyone.
No, I don't know what you're
Oh,
talking
okay.
about.
Did
Yeah.
you see what it was?
Yeah, and it slipped my mind what it is.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, but I remember thinking, why haven't you told anyone that was in there? It's really strange.
Yeah, in Laura's little old Corsa, there's an air compressor and blow tyres up.
Is there?
Yeah. But she's been carrying one in her boot for years. There's actually one built in.
What's that in a Corsa?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Wow.
Yeah.
Most
Oh,
expensive
I didn't know there was
thing.
anything in there.
Yeah, but if Wayne can find out before the end of the podcast.
Yeah,
let
it
us
might
know.
take me a while. I'm on it.
Yeah.
Keep him quiet anyway.
So yeah, I had a 406 Peugeot estate,
Nice.
which I used to sleep in when I'd go visit my friends because I didn't have any space in their
Really?
flat.
Did
So-
you have like a makeshift bed in there, or just
Just a blanket,
Did
back
you?
seats down, laid in
Roughing
there,
it.
engine on, heated on, wasting a tank of fuel to keep warm. Yeah, that was fun. And then that's when I bought an Escort RS 2000 lookalike. I
Nice.
think I sent Wayne a picture of that as well.
Yeah, I did see that. Yeah.
And I've written dangerous there because it was very dangerous.
The original RS2000 or a Mark 5?
Mark 5, more curvy one.
Yeah.
Yeah. When I went to pick it up, I paid for it, test drove it in a yard, no more than 10 mile an hour. I was like, that'll do. It's only 1.6 manual. I couldn't get insured in it at the time because I can't remember if it was like the insurance place was shut, but the missus, she could drive it. So she drove it home, I drove hers. And she's going down the road and the car would just be like off to the right. I'm like, what the fuck is she doing? I thought she was giving it a good old test drive. And she was like, there's something wrong with your car. I was like, what? She went, it just kept veering to the left and right. And I was like, all right, okay, fair enough. So anyway, I only worked a mile away from home and I was driving down the road and the steering wheel stayed dead straight and the car veered to the left. And I was like, whoa, what was that? And I was fighting it to come back, brought it back, took it to multiple garages. No one could find what the issue was. Everything looked normal. All the bushes, all the steering, everything was attached as it should be. But you never knew when it was going to happen. And you never knew which way it was going to go.
Heart attack.
But it is basically, you had to just drive and hope I could get to work in time before it happened. And I did this U-turn into a car park where I worked. And as I've turned right, the car's gone left and I've gone into a fence. Headlights gone, bumper off. And I was like, this is game over now. It's
Yeah.
just too dangerous.
Sounds like one of them novelty cars. I've done like
Where you turn that round,
yeah,
yeah,
opposite
yeah.
steering
left
thing,
and
yeah.
right. That's
Yeah.
mad.
It was, but like I say, multiple garages looked at it and they were just like, there's nothing wrong with it. And I'm like, take it for a spin. And they come back and they're like, you cannot drive that home. I was like, I don't have a choice. I need a car for work. So yeah, I quickly got rid of that for another Clio.
Did you sell it or scrap it?
Sold it.
You sold
Or
it?
part X'd it for the Clio.
Oh, okay.
Oh, nice.
Anything wrong with it? No. Perfectly fine. Perfectly fine. Yeah, I only had to drive like 3 miles to pick up the Clio, so it weren't too bad. Got rid of that. Into the Clio, had it for a year. Came with full MOT. It was 1.4 manual again, made it look like a Williams.
Yeah.
And then took it for its MOT, went off, did my stuff, come back. I walked in, I was like, good news? And he was like, nope. He picked up this bucket, put it on the side, and it had little bits of metal, rusty metal sticking out of it. I went, what's that? And he went, that's the underneath of your car. I was like, right, okay. Big pile of paper. He went, that's what it's failed on.
Oh, God.
I was like, what?
Wow.
And he said, follow me. So I walked in with him, and he put his hand in the middle of the roof and pushed down, and the bottom of the car went like that.
Did it?
Basically, they paper mache over the sills with filler.
Fiberglass and filler, yeah.
And made it look like it was all cushy. I've been driving for a year in this car with my kids, up to Liverpool, down to London, all over the shop in this car that was basically held together with glue.
Spit and clean it.
Yeah, basically, yeah.
I mean, back in the day, it was a cut and shut, wasn't it?
Cut and shut,
Cut and
Yeah,
shut was
cut
like
and
a
shut.
big thing. It was like you used to get one car, cut them front.
I think this one was budget and scarf, wasn't it?
Yeah, I don't know what happened to it. I don't think it was a cut and shut, but it obviously just rotted out, and to sell it, they've filled it and made it look pretty.
Yeah.
And they wouldn't let me drive it home. I had to leave it there.
Did you?
Yeah, they had to go buy a new car because
Bloody hell.
it was
That's
mental.
worse than your MOT trip, isn't it?
Which one?
The one that
The one
the
there.
engine blew up.
Yeah. My mind it passed. Like one advisory was perfect. He pulled out of the MOT thing and the turbo blew up.
Oh,
So I needed a new engine, new turbo, which then broke the clutch. So ended up getting rid of it.
nightmare.
But it passed.
Yeah. So that was about last Clio that I had. Then, another thing on that one as well was the headlights. When you wanted to put full beam on, you'd push the stalk forward, but it wouldn't stick. So if you wanted your high beam on, you had to hold it forward. But for that to work, you had to turn the lights off first, then push it forward. But then when the car was coming towards you, you wanted to take them off, you had to turn your lights off to turn your
It
lights
sounds like you
back
bought it from
on.
the local circus.
It sounds like you wanted from someone that worked after them in the past as well.
Yeah. So that was fun in pitch black. When you turn your high beams off, you pitch black for a second, then your lights come on.
Oh, wow.
But I can't imagine what it was like for the person coming the other way. Bright lights, nothing, and then lights again.
Yeah.
It's just, it was mental. It's good fun though.
Yeah.
Then I bought a Citroen Saxo VTR.
Nice.
Loved it. Black wheels, big exhaust, air intake. Everything was black. It was awesome. And then on the way home from work, about 1:30 in the morning, I come over this brow and I hit a badger and then another badger in succession. Stopped, gone back, 2 badgers laid dead in the road. So on the way back to the car, I've picked up my front bumper, grille, both headlights, some pipe work, which I later found was coming off the return of the radiator, I think. Rear bumper,
Jeez.
one of my rear lights, and the
How people are back to bed.
bracket for my exhaust.
Well, they used some badges.
They were that fat, and I hit 2 at the same time.
Oh, flipping heck.
And I drove home the rest of the way about 30 mile an hour. Temperature gauge going higher and higher, smoke coming out from under the bonnet. I've got my bumpers sticking out my sunroof. I've got my headlights in the back. I've got one headlight on the front. And written off. But then I paid to get it fixed. Got it back because I liked it that much. But then it just wasn't the same. I could feel something was different.
Yeah.
The bumper always sat a bit wonky, which it never did. So I was just like, nah. I was just driving it. And
Once
it was
you lose
Got
your
some
heart,
badges stuck in it.
yeah.
The third one.
But it just obliterated. It bent the whole front main strut of the car as well. Because I got home late, went to bed, and my mate who was living with me went to work the next morning. And he said, you need to look at your car when you get up. So I went out, lifted the bonnet, and looked down, and the front metal impact bar was like someone wrung it out. It just twisted, yeah.
Wow.
It was screwed. But like I say, I paid to get it fixed because I liked it. But then I only had it about a month, I think, after that, and got
I
rid.
think once you lose heart in it, it's
Yeah.
slippery slope after that, isn't it, really?
Yeah. And then I bought a Mondeo.
Uh-oh. We've had some bad experiences.
Yes. Yeah.
Not you as well.
It was a TD DI, so it was before the TDCI came out.
Right.
So the TDCI, I believe, is a pretty decent engine. This one, not so much. The person who had it before must have put their own alarm or immobiliser on it, took it off to sell it, and basically done that with a wiring loom and taped it up. So I had it for about 2 weeks, and it would take like 15 turnovers of the engine for it to start. So everywhere I went, I had to leave it running. So I'd leaving the keys in it. If I had to go shopping, I had to leave it running. Otherwise, I couldn't guarantee I was going to get home.
Wow.
Oh, wow.
So when I part X that in for a Citroen, I took it in, and the guy was like, "Oh, you've left your car running." I was like, "Oh yeah, it's just battery's dodgy. I'm just waiting for a new battery to turn up, so I've got to leave it running to keep it." He's like, "Oh right, okay." And then he thought it was weird when I picked the car that I wanted to part X for. I was like, "Oh, I can just leave that here for the weekend. I don't need it. I'll come and pick that up on the Monday." And I come back on a Monday, pick my car up, scarpered quickly. The Monday I was still in the same spot. And then I drove past 2 weeks later, and the Monday I was still sat in the same spot. But I took it to Ford to find out what the problem was, and he figured out it was a wiring loom. I paid $2,000, I think, for it. And he's like, we can fix it for you, but it's going to cost $3,000.
Wow,
So it was
a whole new loom.
Whole new loom, dual mass flywheel as well, and he did changing and everything. And I was just like, no, I'm all right, mate. I'll just leave it running everywhere I go. I'm kind of praying someone was going to nick it. So, but then I don't know if my insurance would have paid out if I'd left the keys and it
Probably
was
not.
running. Yeah. So
If you've got a spare set, just say,
Yeah, I was
"No,
going to
I've
say,
got
as long
my
as you've got a
Yeah.
spare set, you can't really say, you just say, I only ever had one set of keys,
Yeah.
it's these ones.
yeah.
Yeah.
So then I changed them on there for a C4. Nothing special. Did a bit of cosmetic. Made everything black. I'm not a big fan of chrome, so
Right.
I took all the chrome off and made it all black. That had, I think the battery died. So when I come out of work, I turned it on, nothing happened. And the car was telling me what was wrong with it. But because the battery had died, it reset itself. So it was telling me what was wrong with it in French. I was like, I don't remember any French from school. So I called the AA, and they came out, changed
In
the battery.
French.
In French, yeah. Bonjour. And he come out and he's like, your battery's gone. I can get you charged up enough to get you to a place to buy a battery. He's like, well, that's the least of your worries. And I was like, oh my God. He went, come and look at this. And there was like a little blow-off valve for the turbo. It's only a tiny turbo. And he went, that shouldn't be looking like that. I was like, so what do you mean? He said, well, the pressure for your turbo has got to go somewhere. He's like, that's where it comes out of. He said, but a lot of it's coming out of there. I was like, right, okay. And I noticed it was a little bit sluggish, but it was only 1.6 diesel, so didn't think anything of it. And he basically pulled the pipes off the turbo. And the turbo fan, probably about that big. It was about that big. So all of that was
Going into your engine.
somewhere,
Yeah.
not where it was supposed to be,
Yeah.
basically.
Whoa.
So, yeah, so I took that to the garage, and he was like, anything wrong with it? I was like, no.
Remind me never to
You're-
buy a car.
Yeah, so a few months before, we'd been to the Citroen garage for my missus. And when we were in there was a DS4 behind us. And I was having a look around while she was doing the paperwork. And the guy was like, if you buy that now, I'll knock $5,000 off it straight away. I was like, oh, I wish, mate. Then that came around. I went back in. I went, is that deal still on for the $5,000 off? And he was like, yeah, I can do that. I was like, right, I'll take that. Part X that. Nothing wrong with it. It's perfectly fine. But I'm just going to leave it here if you don't mind. And yeah, bought the DS4. Like first brand new car I'd ever had. And again, it was only 1.6 diesel, manual. But I loved it. You could change the indicators sound to like a fart or a monkey noise. So my boy loved it.
Brilliant.
Yeah. After a little while, it got annoying.
Yeah, I can imagine.
But it had massaging seats in the back. So you know the trick you play when you put someone's heated seat on?
Yeah.
It was the other way with the massage seat. So I pressed the button. Level 1 was like a little lower back. And level 2 it'd do a bit higher. And level 3 it was like someone giving you full on Thai massage. So I'd slowly put it on. And you'd see him going, nothing of it. Level 2 they'd be like, and then level 3 they're like, what's going on like that? I'm just sat in the driver's seat just laughing my head off. And that was a good car. I put some LED headlights in because I just had the halogen ones. Couldn't see shit. So I did that when we were at work, remember?
Yeah, I remember that, yeah.
And bought them for 20 quid. It's supposed to be really bright and cool. No, I couldn't see anything. I had to,
Oh, really?
I had to take them out halfway home because I couldn't see them, put the old ones back in. And then I moved on to the diesel Leon, which again, loved it. Bit of cosmetic chrome or dechroming. Had that for 4 years. Love that car.
Yeah.
Automatic, 184D brake horsepower, so it's a bit pokey. And then I moved jobs closer to home, so I treated myself to an Audi S4,
Nice.
the B8 one.
Oh, really?
So it was a supercharged one.
Yeah.
Nice.
It was beautiful.
Yeah.
It's white, all the black exterior trim, black and white leather seats, 3 litre supercharged, had the big pipe from the supercharger so you could hear the whine. And then started it one day, it was like, I was like, oh, what's that? So I had a bit of a Google. and
Oh, don't do that. That's like Googling I found a love.
so I found out it was the timing chain tensioners, which you can replace, which is fine. But what they've done is they've put them at the back of the engine.
Engine out job then.
Engine out job.
Oh.
So I phoned Audi to get a price.
Don't do that either.
And they were like, we don't do that anymore.
Oh,
It
right.
was like 80 hours labour, they said. And obviously cost of parts. So I found another garage, and he's like, yeah, we can do that for you. I paid 13 grand for the car. It's going to be 15 grand to fix it. And I was just like,
How much was that? Was labour, and how much was that? Was the
a
part?
lot of it would have been labour.
Yeah.
The timing chain tensioner is just polymer plastic pieces. But it's obviously getting everything out and replacing it.
No, it reminds me. I had a 106 GTI years and years ago, and the heater matrix went on it. When I worked with you at Cone, and the footwell's filled up with water. So I thought, I've got to get this fixed. The part was like 30 quid, but the labour to do it was 700 quid.
Yeah.
It's
I
just
remember you.
yeah.
Yeah, I remember. Yeah, you had it done as well, didn't you?
Yeah, begrudgingly had it done.
Yeah.
Yeah, but that's nuts.
Yeah, and that's what he said. He said the water pump, the PCV valve was all there. He said,
At the
so
back
we'll
of the
change that
engine.
as well, because that's going to go at some point because of the age of the car.
Right.
And I just couldn't justify it. I loved it, but I had it about 9 months, and it was 80 quid to fill up. I got 180 miles out of the tank. Yeah. So, and then COVID hit, and fuel prices went
They did.
Yeah.
£2 plus. I got rid of it before that, luckily. Otherwise, yeah, it would have been
How
costly.
did you get rid of it? Because you got rid of
It
it.
sounds like it was
No
written
problems
off.
with
There's a trend to this.
I took it to a garage.
You lived outside.
Left it outside. No, you're all right, mate.
Genuinely, took it to a garage in Peterborough, and I swapped it for a Kia Ceed GT.
Did you?
I lost 7 grand on it. Oh wow! And the guy put it up the next day for like the price I paid for it, or a little bit more, I think it was. And it's still taxed an MOT now. I still check it. So someone's either had the job done, or
But you had the work done, or you didn't?
no, I left it. Yeah, I couldn't pay 15 grand for it after I'd just paid 13 grand for the car.
Yeah.
So yeah, I pulled up and said, "There's nothing wrong with that, mate. Can I swap? I just can't afford to run it at the minute," which would have been a genuine excuse anyway with the COVID and stuff. So I got rid of that and had a Kia Ceed GT.
And what did you think of that?
Hated it.
Did you?
Yep. The person before made it look really cool. They'd lowered it, big double exhaust. Again, all the splitters and skirts, but whatever suspension they put on, it was like that. I'd go up my driveway, which you turn left and go up, and the front and back wheel would come off the floor because it was that stiff. It wouldn't.
Brilliant.
There was just no flex, and you would just
Yeah.
you could drive across this, and you'd be like, you couldn't hear the radio. The sat nav thought I was in Spain all the time. Had heated steering wheel, which was nice.
Yeah.
Which I do miss.
I think the first time I experienced that was Matt's Ram. Have you got that in yours as well?
What's that?
It's heated steering wheel.
No, that hasn't got it actually, to be honest, no.
Oh, right, okay.
But yeah, I wish it did.
Yeah.
They are amazing.
Yeah.
My wife's got the Tucson and heated steering wheel. Love it.
Yeah.
Yeah. Best
So
thing.
what have you got now? Are you on your last car now?
Yeah, I'm on the Leon now. So I took the Ceed to Letchworth Garden City Cupra and bought my Leon.
And what did you just park it outside and run off again, or?
No, there was nothing wrong with it. Yeah, there was nothing wrong with it mechanically.
First time you can say genuinely nothing wrong.
I mean, they gave me what I paid for it.
Did they?
I only had it about 8 months.
That's not bad though. You don't normally, come away
It's
with.
normally after about 9 months when it's left on someone else's
Yeah.
forecourt. Yes, running fine, mate.
Yeah. But yeah, there's genuinely nothing wrong with it. It just didn't suit. And it was free door with the kids and stuff. It was a pain in the arse. And it was loud. I just couldn't. I'd get out, I'd be like that.
Yeah.
Oh.
I do. Mine's really loud, and I do love it when I start it, and I do love it when I pull away, and then after that, it kind of the novelty wears out a bit.
Yeah, I mean, the S4 was straight piped as well. And that was loud. But being made by Audi, it was kind of
I bet that sounds amazing.
quite...
I bet
it was
sounded
amazing.
orgasmic.
I go into the local car wash, and all the guys would be like, vroom, vroom. But yeah, no, that was a nice sounding car, but the Kia was just too much. And then onto the Leon, and I've had that about 3 years now.
I think it's safe to say you've had the most calamitous history of cars so far.
I think all our guesses do this. That was good.
I think this is the most calamitous,
I
and
really
probably the
enjoyed
most
that.
one of the most entertaining so far, I think.
Yeah, it's been fun. It has been fun.
So, given all of those, which one car do you wish you would still own?
Clio Williams.
Yeah, I was
Clio
gonna say,
Williams, yeah,
100%.
it had to be.
100%. Every time I see a picture of one, takes me back to driving that. Again, it was rusty and it was dings and scratches and it didn't run right.
Did you have that before you passed your test?
Yeah.
Yeah. How much did you pay for it?
I think it's about 600, 700 quid.
For a real Williams.
And I didn't know at the time
No.
what it
Well,
would
no,
become.
we never did because
Yeah.
like 106 GTIs, you can't pick up a decent one for less than 8-9 grand, maybe 10 grand now. I've had one. It was one of my favourite cars. Nova GSIs are anywhere between 10 to 15 grand now
Yeah.
for a decent one. But and XR2s again 10, 15,000 quid for a
Yeah,
decent
we
one.
had this conversation last week. Basically, like back in the day, you get £500 cars, like they were throwaway cars, weren't they? But so we had challenged ourselves, and then Barry went down a little bit of a rabbit hole last Sunday. When
I was WhatsApping them all night.
You can't get £500 throwaway cars. You can get £1,000.
Yeah, it's kind of doubled now. So
Yeah.
what?
Inflation.
I staggered myself with what you can actually buy tax and MOT for 1,000
For a
quid.
grand, yeah.
And when this podcast makes money and we've
Yeah.
got a bit of disposable,
We're
we're going to have a bit of a challenge.
Yeah,
and do
sure,
it,
that'd
but
be fantastic.
We was talking about doing the 500. You know, the Scotland. What they call
North
that?
Coast
the NT 500, yeah.
Yeah. So we're thinking about maybe doing that eventually.
Yeah, definitely.
yeah, like V8 Jags for £1,000. It won't get to the end of the week,
Yeah.
but it'll be bloody good fun.
Yeah.
It really would.
I think me and my friend spoke about doing the Monte Carlo 66 or something it's called.
All right.
Where again, you can only spend 500 quid on a car and you do it in stages. You obviously got to pay for the hotels at the stage points. But you drive to Monte Carlo, see how far you can get. So we started looking.
As in from the UK to there.
Yeah, I think you go down south and
Right.
then obviously ferry over to France and then
Yeah.
drive all the way through. Excuse me. And maximum 500 quid. And we were looking, there was like big Volvos and big Mercedes and like Range Rovers, and you're like, that's good, comfy, but are they actually going to get
Last.
out of England?
Yeah.
It's a bit- so
What did you come out with? What would you pick?
I think we picked a big Mercedes.
Did you?
I think it was like a S-Class, but
Yeah.
it was old. But we just thought we're going to be sat in it for a lot.
Yeah.
Potentially sleeping in it as well. So we needed something big
Really
and comfy.
What did I pick out of ours last week? I think
The Jag, I think you said you
I went the Jag, but I also went the Mini Cooper S, didn't I?
Mm.
Kind of got a bit squirty over
Yeah.
that.
Yeah. They were fun cars.
Yeah.
I was in one the other week. So quick.
What, one of the new ones?
Well, no, it's the first one. It was like, so it's an 02. So it's the first Cooper. Yeah.
Yeah, my sister had one
Cooper
of
S.
those.
Yeah.
The supercharger on it is massive. Bearing in mind there's no room in that engine bay anyway. It's huge.
Yeah, good cars.
Yeah.
Next
Do
question.
you like our new board, by the way?
I love the new board, yeah.
It's great, isn't it?
I can actually read it without needing my glasses, which is great.
Big of a font.
After your Cooper you've got now, what do you propose your next car's going to be? Or what would you like your next car to be? Is there something out on the road that you think, I want one of them?
I would love a 2010 supercharged Audi S4. But properly
This had the
properly
work
maintained,
done.
had the work done. Yeah, I think big and powerful next.
Yeah.
So not like American trucky sort of powerful, but a bigger car with a nice big engine in, I think. Or, I know you asked this question, I've been looking at the Ioniq 5N.
I like those.
I
Yeah.
love
I love
those.
them, absolutely love them.
Yeah.
Not a massive electric car fan, but that just kind of
There's something
tickles me.
really cool about that. It's very futuristic. You know, there's nothing
Yeah.
on the
Yeah,
road
but
really
yeah,
like
you
it.
know my kind of man crush for Chris Harris. If you read his he did a review of one on his YouTube channel.
Yeah.
And he even said like, if you're in the market to buy an M5, M3, any sort of like big German saloon,
Yeah,
look at one of them iconic 5Ns because they're that good.
yeah.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, they're
Yeah.
really that good.
When the
It's a
wife
bold
was buying
statement, isn't it?
yeah,
Very bold statement.
when the wife was buying a Tucson, they were doing all the paperwork. I was just sat in the graphite grey one.
Yeah.
Lovely.
Mm.
I was just sat in it for about 45 minutes, just like, this is amazing.
Yeah.
Absolutely amazing. Then you sit in the N-Line S, I think, which is the next one down.
Mm-hmm.
It's not as sporty, but even the inside of that is massive.
Yeah.
As well.
Oh,
So,
cool.
yeah.
So that probably answers our question, would you have an electric car? The answer's yes.
Yes, it would.
Yeah, I would. Yeah. I think you've mentioned before, like the infrastructure and stuff is not great, but I don't do a lot of miles.
Yeah.
So I think I'd be all right plugging it at home, getting to work and
Yeah,
back.
I do believe that if you live and work within, probably 10, 15 miles, it's probably the perfect thing for you. But if
Not for me.
If you've got to do travelling, no.
No, not if you're travelling everywhere. No.
Definitely not.
No, it's funny you say that because we had 2 new starters at work this week, and on our company car list, they showed me when they were picking theirs, and the new Ford Capri's on it. But
If it wasn't called a Capri, would you like it?
no,
Would you not?
no,
Oh, okay.
it's the fact they've called it a Capri.
No, but if it was called like a Maverick or something like that, would you?
No,
think,
because
that's all right?
Mavericks are.
No,
Make up a name.
I just
Make up a name.
First name becomes
The
weird.
Whipple.
The
A
almond.
Furious.
Maybe,
Yeah.
but no.
It's not a bad looking car, but it's the fact that they call it a Capri and then
Yeah,
took all
it's-
that history.
yeah.
Yeah.
No,
Annoyed me.
it's
Same as a Mustang. I don't think they should call that electric Mustang. Should not be called a Mustang.
no.
That's what I sold mine.
But even to put that horse on it, it's like you cheeky gits.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's sacrilege.
Mm.
Yeah, it hurts my brain. Yeah. So anyway, we had thingies on our list. A lot more electric cars,
Mhm.
but when you actually talk about it, and they looked at the mileage I did last week.
You're going to slap him in the back.
Yeah, no, so don't bang the table.
Sorry. We looked at the mileage I did last week, and we
What
kind of
did you
did
do
it.
last week?
I did about 850 miles last week.
Okay.
But we looked at the range against time it takes to charge and everything, and I wouldn't have been home for 2.5 days
Really?
just by waiting for my cars to charge and everything.
Oh, wow.
But taking into account if you drive into a service station, half the chargers are broken or they're all full up,
Yeah.
luck of the draw, I guess.
Yeah,
but
yeah,
they immediately said no.
yeah. Because we had this conversation last week, the week before. I think it's probably your last chance for anyone that works for a company that gets company cars to get a petrol or diesel car as a company car.
yeah.
I think within the next year, it's only going to be electric, isn't it? Maybe hybrid.
Plug-in hybrid,
Yeah.
because I don't need to I don't need to plug mine in. I can just put it in sport mode and it
Yeah.
charges itself. But
Because obviously the tax that you would pay if you just had a petrol car too, if you have.
it's
hybrid.
huge.
Yeah.
The tax difference is huge.
Mm.
But they reckon within 4 years ours is going to be majority electric.
Yeah. Yeah. Which is right now.
Yeah, so Tesla, Iconic 5N,
Mm. Oh, okay.
Porsche Taycan. Yeah, I wish.
Yeah, that would be nice.
Have you had any points in your driving career?
Only 3. I've been caught speeding 3 times, but I've done 2 awareness,
Two awareness
courses.
courses.
And I say the only reason, I got caught 3 weeks into the 3 years before my
Points come off.
before my speed awareness would have come off.
Okay.
I got caught 72.
Oh, does it work like that as well then, does it?
Oh, do they stay on your licence?
Yeah, so
Do they? Or your record even?
yeah,
Yeah.
It's on your record.
I didn't
So
know that.
If you do your speed
Starting
awareness,
to panic now.
yeah, you got 3 years until you can do another speed awareness.
Oh, okay. Because I've
So-
done speed awareness, and in the same year I've done motorway awareness. But I guess they're different things.
I would assume so. Yeah, I've done
and
that.
different parts of the country as well. So
Because I think that's the thing as well. So if you get done in like Buckinghamshire, and then if you get done in say, I don't know, what's another county?
Okay.
Northamptonshire.
Northamptonshire, it doesn't go on the same thing. Oh, you put me on the spot, man. I think it doesn't go against you. Like you can have like multiple, like 12 going at the same thing as long as it's in different counties.
Oh, I'm not sure on that.
Yeah, no.
but,
One of my mates has been done in numerous counties.
worse than me.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But yeah, so 3 points, and like I say, I was 3 weeks away to being able to do another speed awareness course, and yeah, it was 72 in a 60.
72, 60. Oh, that's not too
That's
bad.
12 miles an hour.
Yeah,
That's not too bad.
And they sent the photo. There's me, my brother who looks quite similar to me, and my friend in the back, and we come around this corner up a hill, doing probably more than 72, and seen a van slammed on. And the picture they sent us is just me and my brother like that. And the windscreen, we've got the
Brilliant.
brakes on hard. I was like that.
I've often questioned this. How do they know that it's you drive? Like, obviously, they take pictures of you, but Is it if you and your brother looked alike? Could you just say we don't know which one of us was driving?
It's a 50-50 mix, though, isn't it?
Yeah, possibly.
Yeah, but surely if you put that in the equation, they can't give you the points because they don't know which one of you it was.
Then it'll go to court and it will just get messy, and you'll probably end up court fees and shit.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You're probably just better off taking the 3 points, a 60 quid fine, or however much a fine is.
100 quid, I think.
100
was,
quid.
It's gone up. Yeah, no, I've always wondered that whether you can say like when they get the back of you, do they always get the front or the back of you?
It depends, doesn't
Depends.
it? Yeah.
So you could say I don't know which one of us was driving because I was basically driving up the motorway the other day and doing 71 and it flashed. So, but I was in the car with my missus. So
She looked like you.
Yeah, she might look like that. From
Did you have that weekend?
from behind she might look like me. Yeah, so how would they, if I was to sort of say, look, we're both driving now, but we can't remember which one of us are driving, which one do you give the points to? Do they then turn around and say, well, we can't give you the points because
If you get a letter through,
there's
test
only
it.
one way, there's only one way to find out.
Just contest it.
I think if you say you're both in the car, it'd be the registered keeper, wouldn't it?
Yeah.
Oh, maybe.
Whose car were you in?
Technically it's Anne's, I suppose, but it's got
She
mine.
gets
It's
a
got another plate with my name on it.
Let's find out. Let's see if you get
let's
caught.
find
Let's use
out.
it as an experiment.
All right, just for
Yeah. But I'm
just for
now
the podcast purposes.
a month away from the 3 years of points being up.
Oh,
Okay.
nice.
So I'm being a very good boy at the minute.
Yeah, so you're hoping your insurance goes down.
Yeah, well, it went down 170 quid.
Mine went down this year as well, actually.
That was my renewal,
Or is it?
Yeah.
Yeah.
so I was quite surprised
Yeah.
about. It's about 350 quid now.
That's
It's a
not
year.
bad, is it?
Very good, yeah.
Because at one point insurance was just going up and up and up, wasn't it?
Yeah, a lot of people's renewals sometimes are a joke, aren't they?
Mm.
What would you tell your younger self now about your car journey?
Don't sell the Clio Williams.
It all
don't hit
revolves
a
around
tree.
Clio
Yeah.
Williams.
Don't hit a tree.
Yeah, don't hit a tree. It'd be take more care with
Cars. Yeah.
definitely, because I knew things were wrong and I never fixed them. And I mean, I could have fixed them, paid for it, or done it myself, but yeah, just take more care with what you've got because you don't know what's going to turn into
No.
Yeah.
a classic.
Yeah, I agree. I've gone through that a lot in my head. Like, if I had my GSI now, it would have been mint, but
Yeah.
I wouldn't have had the fun and the memories and the experiences that I had with
No.
it at the time. So
Exactly,
it's
yeah.
6 of one and half a dozen of the other.
It certainly is. It certainly is.
Like my Mark II XRT, although it was a rotten piece of shit, it was my first car. It was my freedom.
Yeah.
If I'd have just garaged it, I wouldn't have had the fun I had in it.
No,
But-
no, that's true.
But yeah, I totally get what you're saying. I wish I'd looked after them more. You know, treated the rust a bit more, and when the engine started tapping, put oil in it and shit.
Not just turn the stereo
Not just
up.
turn the stereo up. Yeah. So yeah, I can get that.
Yeah.
Yeah. Is this one playing up?
No.
I was going to say you might want to just check the splitters.
No, yours is fine. The only thing I can't hear in the right earphone.
Oh, is
So it's
it?
fine now.
That's a
Oh,
blessing.
Yeah.
Only half the words he's saying. Yeah.
Okay.
What's the fastest you've been in a car, passenger or driving, or
Dri-
both?
Driving, I think it's 137,
In
the S4.
nice.
That's coming back from Derby.
On a private
On that
road.
private road bit.
Yeah, that
Right, the private road bit for Derby.
Yeah, that one ran a corner from Derby,
Yeah.
and it was raining, so it's not a very good idea. But then as I come off the throttle to let the speed drop down, my dash just lit up, and it was the four-wheel drive had stopped, the traction control had stopped.
Is that time travel?
Yeah.
Let's go.
It's all apparently some sensor had got water in it 'cause it was quite heavy rain, and I shouldn't have been doing what I was doing, but it was fun. Yeah, so I think it's 137, and passenger, I don't know, probably 90, 100, but yeah, 137.
That's impressive though in the rain.
That's very impressive.
It was good. It's quite scary.
Mm.
Yeah, especially when all the lights came on. I was probably doing above 90 still.
And is it after that it started tapping?
No, it was before, before that. Yeah, yeah, it would have made sense. Yeah.
Brilliant. Next one we shall ask you is, Your dream garage. So you have unlimited money in the world. What are the 5 cars that are going to be in your garage?
Lancia Delta Integrale.
Evo?
Yes, Evo, yeah,
Lovely.
100%. Some form of classic Mini.
Okay.
I love them all. I'm not fussed what it would be, but it'd have to be obviously roadworthy. Love a Mini. I'm looking at the minute for me and my brother to buy one. I was saying to Wayne earlier, not so much disrepair that it's going to sit there and get rotten on the driveway, but not showroom condition, because then it's £25,000.
Yeah.
Somewhere cheapish that we got to do stuff to it, but we can still take it to shows and stuff.
One of the guys at the bottom of my road's got I think it's on like a 95 or 96, but it's a Cooper Works Mini.
Nice.
But the one with the wide arches
Yeah.
and the big dumpy wheels.
Mhm.
It's
Yeah, yeah.
stunning.
I do like that.
Absolutely beautiful. So, like a red colour with
Yeah.
white stripes over it.
So I've always liked the 1275 GT.
Yeah.
This is one go back.
Yeah.
It's got like an almost slant on
Slightly
its front.
Yeah.
yeah.
There was, like you said with your mates, when I was growing up, there was a couple of lads who had one and it was just their constant toy.
Yeah.
And they'd buy other 1275 GTs that weren't roadworthy purely for parts
Take
to
bits
put
off.
on to make this one good one.
Yeah.
And it was just, it was brown in colour, so it must be where the love of brown paint came from. But it was just gorgeous. And the slanted front just really makes,
Yeah.
I'd love one.
Yeah,
And
definitely.
the sensation of speed in a little Mini as well,
Yeah.
because you're that far off the
Yeah.
floor,
Yeah.
it's just mental.
Yeah.
When was the last time you got in one?
Years ago.
Do you think you would get in one now?
What,
Because they are
fit?
tiny. Yeah.
Well, I'd squeeze myself in.
Yeah.
Yeah, definitely. But yeah, I would love one. Definitely love one.
So that's 2.
So that's 2.
I think Dave picked a classic Mini as well.
I
didn't
think he did.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'd go Clio Williams, top like showroom condition one. 19, Eleanor basically.
Okay.
Oh, nice.
That's
Love
been
that.
said. That's been said a
Yeah.
lot.
Was it Gone in 60 Seconds?
Yeah.
Favourite film of all time. Purely just because of the cars. I mean, the storyline was what it was, and the actors and actresses were what they were,
Yeah.
but the cars was just, and the age I was when it came out, for me it was just like, that's what my garage would look like
Yeah.
if I had endless amounts of money, and that would be the top car.
Yeah.
Would be Eleanor.
Did you hear the history of it that's happened since the movie? Because a lot of people started to like replicate them. Is that a word?
Yeah.
That didn't sound right.
Dictionary corner.
So they started making their own versions. Well, not their own version, just like an exact replica of it. But then the people that made Eleanor said it was copyrighted to them, so they started suing everybody to the point where I think there's one famous YouTuber that they actually turned up at his garage and took it away from him. I mean, the dude had spent thousands on it, and they took it away from him. And then I think
But that's a similar story to when people with MR2s used to buy Ferrari 355
Yeah.
kits.
Yeah, it is kind of. But then I think the people that own the rights to the Mustang, because I think the Eleanor was based off of the GT500, wasn't
Yeah.
it?
Yeah.
But and what they said is basically all you've done is took the GT500 and added a couple of little scoops that was on the original one anyway. So it was kind of there's a whole history to it, and you need to watch the video because it's quite interesting. So where they were suing people and taking this car off of them, they had no right to legally.
Mm.
So I don't know what's happened now, but because Mustang or Ford or whoever it is got involved, it stopped them suing people from that point on. So you can actually make one now.
Cool.
Long story about it, but it is really interesting because they were really putting their foot down and sort of taking.
I'll start saving
Yeah,
them.
yeah.
Yeah. I've got MR2 tomorrow now. Last one, mate.
Last one. I do like the Buick. Oh, what's the bloody name of it now? I can't remember.
To Google, Chris,
Yeah.
Well, if you Google Square Buick,
they're all square back in the day, weren't they?
yeah. It's like a saloon car.
Yeah, it's like a saloon car. I can't remember the name of it. I had it in my head this morning.
Oh,
Not the Riviera.
No. I think it's a bit later than that. It might be an 80s.
you're not thinking of a Grand National, are
That's
you?
the one.
Grand
Grand
National.
National.
Oh,
Yeah.
Love a Grand National.
Yeah.
See, the Grand National, it's become really popular again really quickly because an American tuning company called the Ring Brothers did, for SEMA, which is that big American car
Yeah.
show, they did the most amazing resto mod on a Grand National. And I adore them.
Yeah.
I think they're
There was that one of them used in a movie, wasn't there? And that's gone out my head as well.
But no, I was lucky. I've always liked them because they've got a massive engine in them. I can't remember the spec of it. I think there might be a V6 or a turbo V6. And I saw one in Manhattan in New York, just parked on the side of the road.
Yeah.
Amongst Crown Victorias and all that. I was like, they're so fucking cool.
They are proper.
But yeah, Google the Ring Brothers thingy. They called it a name, but I can't remember what it's called.
Okay.
It's just stunning, absolutely stunning. But I like your 5-car garage because they're almost obtainable cars that you've done. You haven't gone completely bonkers and gone, I'll have a Pagani Huayra or I'll have a...
I mean, if someone wanted to give me one, I wouldn't say no. But
it was a bit incredibly realistic and quite down to earth, varied garage. I appreciate that.
Yeah, it is cool actually.
Yeah, I appreciate
One
that.
of the questions that come up to me in the week, and I've yet to put it on the board,
Go on.
is have you ever owned a car that had a choke? I
No.
haven't.
No, I haven't.
I've driven some with a choke,
Yeah.
but I've never owned one.
My sister, years ago, had, I think it might have been her first car. It was a Nova, and it had a choke on it. And I didn't know what a choke was or what a choke did. And I remember she was like, I needed to go to the city centre to pay something. She's like, I'll just take mine, because I had my old Beetle that wasn't really reliable. So she was like, just take that. I was like, oh, fair enough. Jumped in it, started it up, and there's a whole process. You have to sort of almost put them out, and then after a while, do you remember chokes?
Yeah, I had a Citroen X that I'd had one.
Did it?
Yeah, that
Oh,
was
right.
a manual choke.
You must pull it out to allow more air and fuel in, don't you? Until
Yeah.
the engine warms up,
and then
you.
gradually put it back in.
Yeah.
and
Yeah.
that
Well, nobody told me you had to then put it back in. So I drove. Once it's warmed up, once they warm up, if you don't put it back in, they run like a bag of shit.
Yeah.
And
They run really
this
rich.
thing was popping and spurting and stalling, and it was the most stressful drive I've ever been in my life. But I got back, and I'm not like this at all, but I got back and I kind of got through the keys. I was like, don't ever lend me that piece of shit. She was like, I done you a favour. You fucking didn't. Yeah, but yeah, have you had a car with a choke?
No.
No.
Yeah.
No, I've driven, like I say, I've driven a couple. I think it's an old Cortina, it might have been Granada.
Yeah.
That I had one.
I remember my dad
It's
used to
just-
have like a peg, like a clothes peg.
Yeah,
It
yeah.
used to be on it to stop it going back, and then he'd put it, I don't know. I always remember, what was that fucking peg doing on it?
Ugliest car ever made, in your opinion?
Ford Scorpio.
Yes, with the headlight, with the frog headlights.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I've
Yeah.
said that. I didn't say it as part of my one for this,
Oh, right, okay.
but I've said it
In the
off
previous
camera.
one, yeah.
I remember someone on a street I lived on had one. And from the back, kind of Granada-ish,
Yeah.
big chunky, you're like, oh, that's very nice.
I think it had the.
And then they do a U in, you're like, oh,
I think it had the reflectors that went round the bottom of the bonnet, the boot as well. So it kind of almost quite Americanised. So it had the things.
So that was a Mark.
3, 4, or
Yeah.
ugly Granada Scorpio. Wayne, can you
Yeah.
Google that?
That
if you've
was
got
the
something,
last
mate?
Granada
That one.
shape, wasn't
Yeah.
it? That one there,
Yeah.
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 It's just
Fucking
horrible.
awful.
that's the one, yeah.
Yeah.
Horrid.
When I had my
Didn't James May call that gopping at one point?
when I bought my Ferrari 355 kit, do you remember that?
Yes.
When I bought the kit, and I bought the kit, and they give me a Pontiac Ferrero that went with the kit. But I didn't like the Ferrero. I wanted an MR2, so I was going to get rid of the Ferrero and buy an MR2. But then we had kids, and it never happened. So I got rid of the kit. But when I was looking into getting the kit made, not the actual headlights, but the lights underneath on the Scorpio are almost identical to the Ferrari 355s, and that's
Oh,
what
really?
people when they're building their kits, they
They
use
use them.
those things. Yeah, those headlights.
You'd be surprised at what bits
Like
end up on
Lamborghini,
really good
yeah,
cars.
Lamborghini use the indicators
indicators.
off of
Ford
a
Focus.
Yeah.
So Maserati use the rear end of like a Mondeo or something like that.
Yeah.
The lights or something like
I'm
that.
sure the McLaren F1 had wing mirrors off Austin something or other. Yeah, there'll be a list. I'll bring it in one day. I'll do some research and I'll bring it in. But there was one. The Pagani Zonda or something used the same air conditioning unit as a Rover 75 or something
Oh,
like
really?
that. Yeah,
Oh, wow.
it was something along them lines. But yeah, they're just buying bits and pieces from everywhere.
Yeah. I think Aston Martin used to do that loads, didn't they, for Ford bits?
Well, yeah, I
Like
don't think they had much choice
the
really.
barrels and stuff. Yeah,
Just raid the parts bin for Ford.
yeah.
Right, we are going to ask you now, what is your favourite movie/TV car?
Ooh. Eleanor.
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah, that's
Yeah,
obviously
yeah.
your thing.
I mean, there's a few. Obviously, I love the 18 van
Yeah.
and the Knight Rider car.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, it's got to be.
Eleanor's beautiful.
100%.
Yeah. You know when he first sees it and he runs his hand over it and
Yeah.
gets all square. I think everybody would be like that when
Yeah.
they usually
100%.
see it.
Definitely gets square.
So we might as well go to movie Chase. What's your favourite?
I mean, I like the Gone in 60 Seconds one purely because it's got Eleanor in it, but it's a bit over the top for me. But I did watch the other night Jason Bourne, one of them, and he was in the Mini.
Oh, okay, yeah, that was good
And
actually.
that's
Yeah.
a good car
Yeah.
chase because he's down the steps
Yeah,
and he's got the French or Eastern European police cars after him.
yeah,
But obviously the Mini being not so fast, but handling very
Yeah.
well. He just nails it everywhere. And it's quite intense as well.
that's
But
good.
I haven't seen
I
any of
quite
the
like that
films.
one.
I
I've
never,
never seen a
I think
Bond
one of
film.
them was really bad, wasn't it? It was really shaky. Was it the third one?
Oh, it had Jeremy Renner in it.
Yeah.
Yeah, that wasn't. Right.
Yeah.
Oh no, I have seen a Bourne. Me and my wife went to the.
You haven't seen the Mission Impossible, have you?
No, I haven't seen them either. We went to cinema to watch a Bourne film in like 4DX or something, and shaky seats.
Yeah.
If I can come out of there feeling seasick, it was horrid. But I can't remember the cards about it because
Yeah.
my vision was like that.
Did you do your homework, by the way? Talking about car chases. Did you watch Ronin?
No,
Oh, okay.
I watched a Cannonball Run instead.
Oh, right. Oh, you did, didn't you?
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, no, basically come up, Ronin car chases always come up on our
Yeah. That is a good one.
podcast.
That's
And then I rewatched it the other day and it wasn't as impressive as I thought.
No, I would say that I haven't seen it in a long
You
time.
need to
but
watch
yeah.
it. It was good.
No, I will watch it.
Mm.
But when you messaged us about it, I was right.
Yeah,
I was
yeah,
knee deep
yeah.
in the Cannonball Run.
Yeah, I did. I loved that scene you sent us.
Yeah, the opening scene.
Yeah, with the
Yeah.
Lamborghini. Yeah.
But watching that, I watched it with a slightly different perspective now. It's filmed so shit. It's terrible.
That's why I don't watch old films
But
anymore.
I watched it just purely for the nostalgia.
Yeah.
And where was Kirsty? Kirsty went out and she said she's only going to be 2 hours and she was 6. So, as most women do. So I watched the end of, it's not car related, Gangster Number 1.
Oh, okay.
I watched that and then I
Love
thought,
that.
I'll watch something podcast related. So I watched the Cannonball Run.
Yeah,
And yeah, it's brilliant.
yeah. But not filmed very well.
No, but I'm away for a couple of nights this week with work. So I'm going to watch Cannonball Run 2 as well.
Okay.
Just to, and Ronin obviously. 'Cause
Yeah. You need
Mr. North has sent us
just
homework.
watch that chase because it's not as impressive as I remember it. But it's still good.
Yeah.
But it's not up there. Okay.
Right, you have said a lot in your car history, which probably answers this, but what is the most embarrassing moment in a car you've had? Whether it be turning right and then left in your Escort,
Yeah,
or,
that's probably up there.
or have you done a mod that at the time you thought was really cool, but then you look back on it now and you think, God, that was crap. Like neon washer jets, for example, or
That was you on it, Wayne.
That's right. Yeah.
That's the Astra.
I don't think I have modification.
they've all sounded quite
Embarrassments.
subtle. To
Yeah,
be honest. It's all quite subtle and tasteful from what you said.
I mean, I was into obviously max power and fast car back in the day with the big leery wings and arches, but I never had the money
Yeah.
to do anything like that. And now I'm kind of like tweak it a little bit, make it a little bit different from
Yeah.
everyone else's. But I'd say the crashing, because that's a busy part of the town, and you're not supposed to do a UE into that car park. So I've obviously done the UE, hit the fence, then drove off, and then had to come back and pick all my bits up, and then skulk off again in broad daylight on a high street.
I think
So,
that'll be the most embarrassing.
Yeah,
the most embarrassing bit.
definitely.
That's very cool. Were you one of the guys who did Route 66 with Wayne?
No.
And you okay?
No.
We've got this dream that Wayne has done already that we want to do Route 66.
Yeah.
It's one of our bucket list moments. If you could do it, what car would you do it in?
It'd have to be massive and American.
'Cause the reason we ask it, we've had a lot of conflicting answers. We've said some people want to do it on a motorbike, which I think if you're into it,
Yeah, I think
you'd
that'd be
probably
bit
make a
much.
mistake after 100 miles.
Yeah.
But I think I'd like to do it in a Lincoln Continental.
Nice.
'Cause I think that'd be decent.
Yeah.
But the more people have said it, big RVs
Yeah.
to take your creature comforts with you.
Yeah.
What would you pick?
I think I would go something along the lines of like a 70s, 80s big American V8 car. I'm not too fussy on which one, but it'd just be the nostalgia of it,
Yeah.
the noise of it,
Mm-hmm.
the feeling, and you can't beat a massive.
No, especially on them roads as well.
Yeah.
That's what they're made for, isn't it?
Yeah.
Really?
I mean, if it
one
was-
straight road.
If it was bendy and twisty, then
Yeah.
you definitely wouldn't want to do it in one of those.
Yeah.
But because of the nature of the roads, yeah, I'd be a big American, long, bouncy, soft thing.
Do you think you would have done it in an RV? If you took away the petrol head side of it,
Yeah, I considered it, but after looking at some of the campsites that you'd kind of stay on, kind of puts me off a little bit. I'd be a bit afraid of something happening to me overnight, so I tend not to. Well, that nearly happened on the way here, as I said, but
like the
kind
hills
of put me
have
off a
eyes.
bit.
Fair enough.
Right, do you follow any motorsports or anything like that?
I will watch anything with an engine. There used to be a channel on Sky, I don't know if you remember it, Motorsport TV.
Yep.
On
Yeah.
Motors TV,
Yep.
sorry. Not on there anymore. That was like losing my wife when they took that channel off.
Yeah.
I was just like, where's it gone? Where's it got? What?
But it used to
Scrolling
show
through.
the most obscure racing from all
Anything,
around
yeah.
the world. It was brilliant.
Love Formula One. Love WRC, Rallycross, touring cars, the V8 touring cars.
Oh, the Australian ones, yeah.
Love that. Tractor pulling,
Yeah.
truck
It's
racing.
brilliant.
Oh,
Tractor
tractor
pulling's
pulling.
fantastic.
The biggest thing I've got into in a minute, and I sent you guys a snippet of it, is when we do Route 66, we're going to dive that off. But have you ever seen big rig drag racing in America?
Is that
Where
in the swamps?
No. It's the big Arctics
Oh, yeah.
in the USA,
Yeah.
and they hook up like 40,000 pounds or 20 tons of cargo on the back.
Oh, with
Then
the
these-
logs and stuff.
Yeah,
and
these
then-
big
yeah.
tunes like Kenworths and
Yeah.
what's the other big?
Peterbilt.
Peterbilt and
Yeah.
all that. And they just race up an eighth of a mile.
Yeah.
But the diesel smoke they chuck out these, and then the talk of it.
Yeah, I've seen
twists-
that,
It's
yeah.
just fantastic.
Yeah, it's impressive.
Love
that.
stuff like that.
Um,
MotoGP.
Yeah.
Anything bike-wise, Supercross, motocross.
Cool.
If it's got an engine, I'll watch it. I used to, back in the day, especially WRC, be able to name all the current champions.
Okay.
Back many years. I think with Formula One, I could probably get back to like 90
Oh,
from
I'll give you a
current.
run for his
Might
money.
do.
Feel like a mastermind.
I fell out of love with WRC quite a long time ago because I think it just got. I think the coverage got less on the telly.
Yeah.
But I think it only got down to like two manufacturers at one point. It was Citroen and Toyota
Yeah.
at one point. But their little Yaris thing that I've seen them
Yeah,
fly
it's-
around it.
I mean, don't
Fucking
get me wrong,
thing's astonishing.
600 brake horsepower.
Yeah.
And it is good. But again, I think there's only 4 manufacturers at the minute.
Yeah, sorry, there's Ford.
And they all, Ford.
They run a Puma, don't they?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Skoda. Got the little Fabia. I
Fabia,
think.
yeah.
Toyota.
Maybe Citroen.
I think it might be Citroen.
yeah,
Yeah.
it might be Citroen.
Yeah, I mean, obviously, rally back in the day, Colin McRae was
Yeah,
my hero when I was a kid. But all them cars
yeah.
of that time.
So when it was
just
Evos, Imprezas, Celica GT4s.
all sorts, yeah.
I love all that.
Do you like watching? Have you ever seen it live? Any of those?
I went to the British, a day of the British rally when I was 8 or 9 maybe.
Right.
And that's the only time I've been.
I was going to say,
To,
you've been to a few Formula Ones. and things
I've been
like
to a
that.
few Formula Ones. I've never been to a rally stage.
I've been rallying.
I've been to a couple of touring car races, but that was again back in the day. John Cleland, Steve Soper with like the Cavaliers,
Yeah.
Lagunas.
Yeah.
BMWs,
It's
all
just
that,
the
yeah.
golden. To me, it's the golden age of racing.
I was watching a video this morning of an ex touring car driver, and he was at a show and he was driving the Nissan Primera touring car.
Yeah,
That's my favourite touring car
Yeah.
of all time. That was, and then you'd see the Primera on the road with a red badge. Can't remember if it was a GTI or GTL or something, and loved it. Loved that car. But yeah, I've been to Donington track, and they had the V10 Formula One Renault car.
Okay.
There doing a few laps, and I could hear it, and I couldn't see it, and then I could still hear it, and I still couldn't see it, and then about 2 minutes later, it come round and then disappeared, and you could just hear it. The whole
Shakes your innards, doesn't it?
it's mental.
So would you say it's better to watch motorsport on TV or live?
Wholly basis on the event, I think.
Yes,
I think
100%.
Because when you watch it live, because I've seen Formula One and I've seen rally, and it is impressive
what, in the telly or live?
live.
Okay.
Yeah, but you don't
depends.
really see a lot, do you?
I think it
Because they're
depends
that
on the
quick,
track.
and it just it's like you wait in a couple of minutes, and all of a sudden it's like, "Wing," and it's like, wait a couple of minutes.
I think I've been to, again, sound spot, several Formula One races, but I went when there was V8s, V12s, V10s, and I went for the noise, and when they come out of the pits, and it shakes your fucking feelings out, and for a petrol, it gets you quite emotional, because you think, that's on the telly, and now it's there.
Yeah.
And at the time, I was doing a lot of work for McLaren at the time, and it was just like,
There we go again.
I'll
He actually
go
helps
in.
them win the championship.
But
sometimes.
then I went to probably the second year when they went to this new turbo hybrid era, and I went with a couple of mates, and the cars all started and went past on the first lap.
Couple of minutes. Yeah.
I don't remember that.
I'm so popular. No, we went. I went with a couple of mates, and then as the cars went past on the first lap, I could have a conversation with them from like we are now. Didn't have to raise a voice. Feelings never weren't falling out, and it was just like, is this what it's become?
Yeah, you've lost something. Really.
It's lost that magic of ear-shattering noise.
I went to a rally. What do you call it? Rally race?
Stage?
Is it?
Rally stage. It's
Yeah,
not
but
a
is
stage.
it Woburn? In the woods.
Okay.
In the woods. It was brilliant. But it was only brilliant because where we were stood, they would come past, and then there was a really dodgy bend, and these cars would just straight over into the woods. Straight over into the woods. And there was a couple of them that stacked on top of each other. But
It's like crap ready to this.
the downside of it was some of these cars were like old classic cars as well.
Yeah.
That they were racing, and it broke your heart to see them just in pieces.
But I think ultimately with Formula One, on most tracks now, there's only one or two overtaking places.
Yeah.
And so 99% of the track, you will see them just in a formation. Whereas with old touring cars, if it's Brands Hatch or I think it was Donington, they're all bunched up together and they're all fighting for position and
That's proper
nudging.
racing, wasn't
It was proper racing. So you get a lot more excitement out of that.
Yeah.
But I think that's changed as well now. Touring cars, British touring cars, anyway.
Yeah.
They went to, I think it was version 2. They did a bit of a hybrid-y thing.
Yep.
Didn't really work. They've
No.
now gone back to obviously internal
I always
combustion.
I always preferred touring to Formula One because you could relate to what you're seeing.
Yeah.
The cars are just
Yeah.
what you see on the streets to an extent. They would look a bit different.
But I think it's when there was a time when they all kind of had the same body kit. They were all kind of street cars, but lowered, big wheels, and they went fast as hell. But then they brought in these regulations, and virtually all of them looked the same.
Yeah.
And if you remember the Astra Coupe, I think there was a 888 version for the road, but then it kind of had these wheel arches and then these big side skirts that stuck out, but they all looked the same. So it was almost like they were over-regulating and they just all looked a bit samey.
Yeah, I get it.
Yeah, we can talk about that forever. But it leads me on to the question: if you could do a lap in any car of any track in the world, what would it be, and what would you do? And it even goes down to, and I was thinking about this, given our new toy that we're going to get. Even if
We've got it.
Well, we've got it. We
We've
need
got
to
it
set it up. Even if you played a track on a computer game,
Yeah.
and you thought that's really cool, is there a track that you'd like to pick one car, probably Eleanor or a Clio Williams, and you'd like to drive it round? Or have you watched the
Just
video?
a track with no trees, I think.
no right turns.
You bastard.
Or is there a YouTube video you've watched and you've watched somebody do an onboard lap and you thought, fuck, that looks cool?
There was one this morning. I've got the track. That's Mount Panorama in Australia, where they do the first 1,000.
Yeah.
Love that track. And I've thought about one of the V8 supercars that they use, but I've seen a video this morning of a 1150 brake horsepower R32.
The Skyline.
Skyline.
Yeah, it just fucks off
Just
down that back
fucks off
straight.
down the hill, and it's just, I'm like, that's got to be amazing.
Yeah.
The track is perfect. bit squirrely in the corners, I
Yeah.
reckon. But once you get down that back straight, down the hill, the main straight to the third bend, I think it would just be amazing.
Oh, cool.
But yeah, Mount Panorama, Donington second. Love
Mount
Donington.
Panorama, I would probably say that's a really good choice. I'm glad you said that. It's probably up there with Laguna Seca as well.
Really?
Yeah. It's just such a beautiful track. I've only ever seen it on, again, telly and computer game. I'm really good on it on a computer game.
Well,
Not
put you
doing
to
that
the
one.
test.
Yeah,
It's just a wonderful track. But if you watch the touring cars, I think the Bathurst 1000, it's so unforgiving.
Yeah.
Because if you wallop a wall, you're fucked.
Yeah.
That was it.
Because there's no runoff areas. There's none of it's. You hit a wall, you're
Like the top
Quite
end,
good.
it's like a street circuit
Yeah.
almost, isn't it? And then you come down to the bottom, that's where your runoffs are. But that's all straight.
Right.
So top end is downhill, hairpins, lefts and rights. And then you're braking all the way through all these. Then you accelerate to the next corner and there's a sharp left and it's just flat out.
It's downhill, isn't
Down,
it?
yeah.
Down to the. Then it's a left.
Okay.
Then it's a right. Then it's another left down to onto the straight. Yeah, it's
It's getting
It is
a
amazing.
movement.
no, I'm really happy you said that because I'd forgotten about that, admittedly. But
I think you're the first one to say that.
Yeah.
Aren't you? Yeah.
I think that's got to be an honourable mention. That's a gold star at the top. Bathurst. Yeah, Bathurst 1000 to watch is one of the greatest motorsport races.
Yeah,
It's
100%.
epic.
And they,
Right.
don't give a shit and the cars can kind of withstand it as well.
Yeah,
They can give a bit of bashing and
but ultimately
Oh.
as well, it's governed, but they can take the piss. They ramming each other off the
Yeah.
road, and there's the greatest overtake I think I've ever seen is where it's not at Bathurst, but it might be at Surfers Paradise, which is a street circuit in America.
I know exactly what you're talking
Where he
about.
skids
Yeah.
and then makes a left-hand
Makes a left.
corner. It is the most
Yeah.
brilliant overtake, and you think he's fucked it, he's fucked it, he's
Yeah.
fucked it. He's made it. It's absolutely
Yeah.
brilliant. And again, that's V8 supercars, which up until today hasn't had a mention.
No, it
and
hasn't, actually.
it's some of the most brilliant racing. And if you're going to talk Australian, stadium super trucks,
Yeah.
where they're doing the big
Yeah,
jumps
yeah.
and everything. I've yet
I
to
love
find
that.
it on a telly channel to watch it live, and it's probably on YouTube. It's so fucking cool
Yeah.
because they're in
They go in 30 feet in the
yeah
air.
30, 40
Is
feet
it?
in the air.
Yeah.
There's ramps on the racetrack,
Oh,
Yeah.
wow.
and they're jumping over each other, and it's
And they go round a
Chaos.
corner, front wheel comes.
yep.
I mean, they can't see where they're going.
Yeah.
They've just turned and
Yeah.
they're hoping for the best.
It's almost
And then
like
when they
they've
get around a
got,
corner, it goes back down. It's
they've got too much power for the chassis and the tyres and
Yeah.
whatever. And the front, like I say, the front wheel lifts, and it's just wicked. I'm
Yeah.
going to send you. I'm going to.
Yeah,
It's
yeah,
cool to watch.
You know what rabbit hole I'm falling down tonight?
What's that?
3 minutes left on that.
Just so you can get all three of us.
Right, aircon or radio? You had to pick one.
On
aircon.
route now.
Aircon.
Aircon, yeah.
Okay, cool.
I can't not have. I have aircon on the way here.
Really?
Yeah, I can't not have aircon. I used to. A lot of these didn't have aircon, and I fucking hated it. I absolutely hated it. I'd be pretty much butt naked in the car, and I can't do that anymore because I've normally got the
I'm glad you
kids.
didn't do that in the round.
That's on the way back.
Yeah.
Driving test. How many times did it take you to pass?
One,
Nice.
no minors.
No minors.
No
at all.
minors.
So you're like the perfect
I
class.
was well impressed with that.
Yeah.
I had 4 lessons as well.
Only
Four.
four.
Mind you, he has been driving since he was 13.
Yeah, there is that.
So yeah, I was. Well, that's kind of
Yeah.
pinnacle for me. My
That's-
wife
that,
got.
could be, that should be another leaderboard thing, isn't it?
I don't think that'll.
Squeaky clean.
Least amount of lessons,
Mm.
first time, and no minors.
Yeah.
That's just a category on its own.
So what is it on? Is it 37? And then you're passed. Anything below you fail. Is that right? You're
No
allowed, is
idea.
it 3
No, I
mistakes? We have to look into it.
Couldn't tell you.
I'm sure you're allowed 3
I
minors.
think it's 3.
Yeah.
I don't know if I had 15 in my head.
What minors?
I had 20 in my head.
I'm sure when I did it, it was 15 and
Right.
I had 30.
So are you a payer or a player? So do you tinker with your stuff yourself, or do you pay people to do it?
Mechanically,
Going back through your history.
Depends how
where
much they charge you.
Yeah,
Yeah,
when,
yeah.
You, when you looked at you as at 13 changing an oil on a regular basis, on
Yeah.
a daily basis.
I mean, from there backwards, I would probably done it myself, unless it involved like an engine rebuild or anything like that. Nowadays, with the car I've got,
it just pays.
I just go
Yeah.
modifications, like the cosmetic stuff. I've done all that myself. But yeah, if I cock it up, then I'm fucked.
Yeah.
But
Yeah,
if someone
It's
else cocks
expensive
it,
nowadays. Isn't
Yeah,
it?
big
It's
time.
wrong.
if someone else takes it and I'm paying them to do it and they fuck it up,
Yeah.
that's down to them. They've got to fix it.
Yeah.
So yeah, I'd rather.
Okay.
It's 15 minus, by the way.
15 minors.
Yeah.
So you'd have 15 minors and you got none.
0.
I'm impressed.
I got 13.
I don't know how many.
We
I've got.
expect you to be top of the leaderboard on our Xbox when we when we start it
I've
up.
been practicing at home.
No indicators.
There was one last question. Are you a good passenger?
No.
Wayne? Is he a good
Yeah, to
passenger?
be fair, he was alright, yeah.
Yeah.
No, I'm not. I'm better in the front than I am in the back.
Okay.
And it depends who's driving and how much I know of their
Yeah.
driving history.
So what's it like when your missus drives?
She's fine.
She's alright?
Yeah, she's
okay,
alright.
We had this conversation.
Yeah,
the other day,
a couple of weeks.
That
didn't
was
we?
a while ago.
When that gets released, I'm alright because my missus don't watch this. I just hope somebody don't tell her.
Yeah, my missus was driving like legally a lot longer than me. So when we first got together, 20 years ago now, she obviously long journeys she used to drive all the time. So I got used to her driving. She can park sometimes. She knows the width of her car.
Yeah.
She's pretty good.
Oh, good.
So it's not too bad.
Yeah, good. That's quite a good question, really. Cause it's
Yeah.
quite,
Yeah,
It's a very
it is
good
question.
Well, glad you didn't ask me that one.
I think you get
Can
a lot,
ask you now if you
get a
want.
lot of people
We'll
lying.
have a part 2 for you, mate.
Bring your chair round.
Right.
Is there any questions we've missed?
Only one is driving tune.
Yeah. What's your one driving tune?
One driving tune.
Yeah.
Yeah, I've been thinking about this one. So it's almost like we've said it was like at the end of your run. from-
Montage at the end.
Yeah, the end of your run from 66, what would you play to figure it out? But I think we should slightly tweak it a little bit.
Please do, because
So-
I don't think it's always.
So
I don't
say,
think
yeah,
it's
it doesn't
right.
quite sit right. But say you had a car, say you're a TV actor, and you're like the new Knight Rider.
Yeah.
What tune would you pick for your car program? Is that a better
No.
question?
No.
No.
Okay, we might have to.
I know.
I
I
think
think
they're both tough questions.
I'm going to go really dramatic, and it's only because I found a reel on Instagram the other day. If it's the end of the world, and you're being
Get out,
chased,
Barry.
no. If you're being chased by the big wall of fire,
Yeah.
and you're in your car trying to get away from it,
Yeah.
what's the one tune you want playing other than the screams in your own head? Like, if you could have that last one moment.
REM, End of the World as we know it. You got to laugh.
What would? Yeah, it's really dramatic.
Highway to Hell.
Highway to
AC/DC.
Hell.
Yeah, that's
On that
very
day.
fitting.
Both
It's
of
got,
those are
it's got to
really
be something like. But I like house music, so it'd be some kind of house tune,
Right.
like My maybe. I don't know if you know that one.
Armand van Helden.
Armand van Helden,
Yeah.
yeah. Got a big soft spot for that song, and yeah, just
That's the
Whack it.
most
Crank it up.
uplifting song before you die.
It really is. No, like this reel that I saw had Barber Tadagio for strings, the
Yeah.
Ferry Corsten mix on it, and it had Nicolas Cage in it. It's from one of his films,
Right.
and it just sounded like right. It was very poignant, but it's a bit dramatic, isn't
Yeah,
it?
fair
Can you
enough.
imagine like End of the World and you're like skipping through Spotify trying to find
Yeah, imagine you die and you can't find your song. You'd be fucked. So I think we'll have to tweak that question a little bit because we've gone from a little bit don't make sense to a bit dramatic.
go off
back
the
to the
cliff to
drawing
Ed
board.
I
Sheeran.
know. What I think then, my is like, what's your driving tune? So you've got. It's a nice day. You've got a good country road. Fuck all traffic. And you're
Yeah.
just out for a drive.
Yeah.
What's the one tune that kind of makes that perfect scene in your?
It's like my
The
dad
journey.
mentioned something similar to, like, he'd go in his Mazda, whatever the fuck it was, I can't remember. Because they're a little convertible, but they'd always
MX-5.
play. Yeah, they'd
Yeah.
always play like the Italian job music.
Yeah.
Because he likes driving through the thing, and he said it just adds to it. It's just the experience.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, so I think we'll go a bit more light-hearted on that.
So before, I think that's all the questions done, isn't it?
Yep.
Yeah.
Just, all it is now is, do you have any rants?
Any
Is a new
Any
new question.
driving rants? Yeah.
So
So like,
pisses
Right,
you
okay.
off, annoys you.
people who don't know how wide their car is.
okay,
So when there's a car parked up and there's a car coming the other way, and they stop and they wait for the car to go past, and
Yeah.
then they go. And I'm like, I can clearly see your car fits in that gap.
okay.
You could have gone. But then if there's 5 cars coming the other way, I'm just sat there Just gripping the steering wheel. try not to look. So I'm just like, I know your car fits.
Yeah.
Why are you not aware of how wide your car is? That's
Fair
the
enough.
biggest bugbear for me,
I
definitely.
like that.
Yeah, that is a good one.
Yeah, that was a good podcast, wasn't it?
Yeah.
How long is that? That's one of the longer
That's
ones, isn't it?
Yeah, hour and 20.
Hour and 20.
Nice.
I think you got the record.
Oh, cool.
He's got many records today, hasn't he?
So I don't know whether we've got time to set the steering wheel up. If
Okay.
we have, we'll do it quickly.
Give it a go.
And hopefully you can have a go before you go home. If not,
Yeah,
we're
no
going to
worries.
try and do a day where we just all rock up downstairs and we'll set it all up and have a bit of a play.
Yeah. I'll get some practice. What track and car is it? I'll get some practice at home.
I think we said the Top Gear track, didn't we?
It's a Ford Falcon. Bathurst.
Yeah, I'm down with that.
Yeah. But no, thank you for coming.
Panic on your
thank
right.
you.
No, we'll wrap this up. Like, comment, subscribe. Anything you want to see.
Yeah, there's going to be merch. I keep throwing in it, but there is going to be merch soon. And thank you for watching, and we'll see you next Tuesday.
Thank you.
Thank you for doing that.
Mate.
Oh,
Yeah, that was awesome.
appreciate it.
Thank you very much.